Hey guys, it's Coach Jack coming at you from Pillars Fitness, and I had a client earlier this week that was talking to me about the fact that even though we've changed their diet, well, not their diet, we've changed their nutrition, we've changed their eating habits, we've calculated the protein, the carbs, the fat they need. We're seeing huge improvements in the gym, but the scale just won't seem to budge. As a matter of fact, this particular client had an increase in their body weight of 5 pounds over the last 2 months that we've been training together. The goal is they wanted to get stronger, but they also wanted to lose body fat. And I had to keep reassuring this client that the scale is irrelevant. All right. And if you're in this for the physique game, if you're in this because you want to change your appearance or because you're trying to get your clothes to feel better or to fit better, something like that, the scale is completely irrelevant. The scale is just a number. All right. When you look at things like the BMI, right, your body mass index, and you look at different factors that have been the template that we've used in the past, especially in the medical community, for how we determine health, it's not accurate. All right, the way that they use these different calculations, it assumes that for a percentage of body fat, that's going to tell you if you're healthy or not. It's going to give you a hip or a hip to waist ratio that's going to tell you whether you're healthy or not. All right, now with these studies are done in controlled groups, and what they do is they look for numbers that correlate. And what correlates is that in the past, the higher the body mass index, the more unhealthy you are. Because for most people, especially those that don't exercise regularly, the higher your body mass index, the more fat you're generally going to carry. That's why you have the increased weight. All right, now for myself, I'm just short of 6 foot. I weigh 205 pounds. My body mass index is about 28.7, close to 29, which means that I'm obese. Yeah, so it's not accurate, all right? It's based on the average person, not an athlete or someone who trains regularly, all right? The other thing is the caliper tests, right? Now, calipers are going to be more accurate than using a hip to waist ratio or just basic body mass index by stepping on a scale and saying for this height and this weight, you're either fit or not. But with the calipers, you can actually use one of multiple methods to determine, based on skin fold measurements, how much fat is your body carrying. Now, again, there's flaws with that. If you have a lot of subcutaneous fat or if you're carrying a lot of fat in your intestinal area, that's not really going to show on a skin fold measurement. All right, you could be clogging your arteries and still look healthy on the outside. That's not going to show how healthy you are. It's not going to say that you're going to live forever because look how lean when you're killing yourself on the inside. Conversely, if you have very tight skin or if you have a lot of fat that's kept under the skin, you may not be able to get a good pinch on it. So it's not going to show that it's not going to accurately show how fat you are. So there's give and take in everything you do. The most accurate way for years up until recently was the water submersion technique, where you would go get in water. They basically fill up a tub, see how much you weigh and how much volume you displace, and then you have to expel as much air as possible. See how much heavier you are now that you're no longer buoyant because there's less air in your lungs. But again, it depends on how much air you could actually expel out of your lungs. That's going to have an impact on your density and how much weight you could push down on the scale because you're less buoyant. If you can't fully expel the air out of your lungs, or if you freak out being in an enclosed area, you're not going to be able to get as good of a measurement as someone who is more comfortable and able to expel more air, so they're heavier because they're less buoyant. There's things that there's a give and take no matter what you do. The most accurate method right now is using the DEXA scanner, where you lay on it, it's going to scan your whole body. It's going to tell you how much muscle mass, how much fat mass, your bone density. I mean, it's off the chain. It's great. It's very good, but still, using that as a percentage is not going to say what your complete health is, and it's not going to tell you how fit you are. All right, we have guidelines that are created for the average person, and I'll talk about it in more videos, and I've talked about it in a few before, and I definitely talk about it with my clients. Statistically speaking is the key phrase that you hear a lot in the fitness industry. Well, statistics are based on the amount of people that you can get to do a study, and then that's where you get your trending data from. And statistics are based on within 2 standard deviations of normal. So if you're outside of those normal deviations, you could be extremely healthy or extremely unhealthy. But again, that's based on what the sample population is. All right, so if you're at 15% body fat as a male, but you can run a 5K and get done and you're not short of breath, you have no pain in your joints, or if you're 5% body fat, but you smoke 2 packs a day, there's different things to be taken into account, all right? So go by how you feel and go by your trending data. This particular client has had a very minimal change, actually gained a little bit of weight over the last couple of months that we've been training together. However, when you look at pictures from when we first started to where we're at now, even though the weight has gone up, the curves are different. Her leg press went up almost 400% because we actually got her to start firing the muscles correctly, fixed her form, and she's eating more food. She was trying to lose weight, and the methods that she was being taught previously were trying to starve her instead of feed the muscles and just work harder. So even though the weight has gone up, the body fat has gone down, the muscle mass has gone up, and muscle mass is 5 times more dense than fat. So this much fat is about that much muscle. So by gaining, let's say 5 pounds, she may have lost, 2 or 3 pounds of fat, but gained 5 pounds of muscle. Well, you're not going to be able to see that on the scale for the actual impact that it's having on the body. So everything that we do, especially in the fitness field, it has to be a system of checks and balances, all right? We need numbers so we can do trending data and we can see whether you're progressing or you're degressing, and we need to make changes based on what we're seeing. However, don't let the numbers tell you whether you're succeeding or if you're failing to meet a goal. Go by what you see in the mirror, go by how you feel, go by how you're sleeping, go by your diet, go by your energy levels. Are you working out and you're getting tired halfway through? Chances are you're starving and you need some food. All right. If you're not sleeping at night, maybe there's stresses going on that you need to take into account because that's going to be affecting your workout. If you're not properly rested, you're not going to be able to work out as hard as if you get a good night's sleep. Okay. So just take everything, for lack of better words, at face value. All right. A number is just a number. Until you have something to compare it to that's actually useful, a number is just a number. It's a data point in a sea of data. All right. So I hope this helps anyone else that's out there that's having trouble saying, I'm working out, but the scale isn't moving, or I'm gaining weight, I'm losing weight. Every weekend, I seem to gain all the weight that I lost during the week. Well, maybe you're taking in a lot of food with a lot of salt in it over the weekend, so you're retaining a lot of water. And then by Tuesday, you flushed all of the extra salt and all of the excess water out of your body. You're back to your normal weight. Take it for what it's at. Use some trending data. Make sure that you're weighing yourself at the same time every week. Don't weigh yourself too much. Otherwise, you're going to see too many changes. There's a whole lot of different fluctuations that go into this. So just use the numbers for what they are. They're just data. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. If you have a argument or if you have a question, please let me know. I'd love to be able to support my viewpoint, and I'd love to hear from someone else and see if we can come to a middle ground and learn from each other. All right. Thanks again. Bye.